All right, let's talk Ben Askren versus Jake Paul on Triller last night. Let's talk about the event as a whole at first. I understand why it's a thing, but for me personally, I absolutely hate the mixture when they mix music with mixed martial arts, when they mix concerts with boxing, when they mix concerts with pro wrestling. I personally don't enjoy it at all. I understand that they do it so that they can try and reach more of an audience, try to get some people to tune in to see whoever perform. But for me, if I'm tuning in to see boxing, wrestling, mixed martial arts, whatever event it happens to be, unless there's an actual intermission, like the Super Bowl, for example, then I don't like it. I don't like it when they take 20, 30 minutes between fights to have a concert, or the first hour and a bit of the pay-per-view last night was all music. I hate it. I know, like I said, I understand why it's a thing. I just don't like it. But I liked the setup. I liked that they used the 20 by 20 ring, smaller, try to keep the action more intense, keep the action flowing some more. I liked that. I also don't think they should let Oscar De La Hoya anywhere near a microphone ever again. Man, was he embarrassing himself last night, in my opinion. What's wrong with Oscar De La Hoya? Whew, he says he's going to come back and fight again, but I don't think he should step anywhere near a ring ever again. I don't know what was up with him last night. That's anything like if him talking on a microphone is anything like we're going to see his boxing event when that happens, I don't want to see it. If that's concussion related, the way he's acting and talking, he needs to stay retired. Oscar De La Hoya, in his day, and still, is one of the legendary boxers of all time. Had a tremendously successful career, and he's not Mike Tyson. He said he's coming back because Mike Tyson inspired him. Mike Tyson Mike Tyson is a different animal. Mike Tyson is seemingly all still there. Oscar De La Hoya does not seem like that to me, unfortunately, and for his safety, I don't want to see him back in a ring at 48 years old. Like I said, I don't know what was up with him last night, but man, he shouldn't be anywhere near a microphone. Hearing Mario Lopez try to wrangle that group together on commentary was something. Man, did I feel sad for AC Slater last night, but absolutely loved his commentary. He did a fantastic job. You absolutely can tell he knows what he's talking about. But the rest of the group trying to wrangle in Oscar De La Hoya was not something I enjoyed, was not something I want to see. I don't know a lot about the other boxers that were on the card. I tuned in to see Frank Mir fight because I am a big mixed martial arts fan. Frank Mir has put on so much size since his mixed martial arts days. It looks like he's having a hard time moving around there. Maybe if he cut some weight, could move around a little faster, because the size isn't working for him. He was definitely outworked in that fight last night. Cunningham looked like $1 million. Frank Mir did get a round or two. I believe on the official scorecard, he got round number 4. But you could have gave him round 6 as well, possibly. But either way, he got at least one round. I mean, he didn't look bad, but I feel if he got himself into better condition, he would stand a bit of a better chance if he wants to continue to pursue his this boxing thing that he's doing. But it was cool to see Frank Mir back in there. He didn't get knocked out, thankfully. It's always scary for me when you see the legends of mixed martial arts fight into an older age category and then get knocked out. Like when Chuck Liddell fought Tito Ortiz. Chuck was a legend and then get knocked out by Tito Ortiz in scary fashion. I don't like seeing that. They were talking about Chuck Liddell getting back in the boxing ring last night. I don't want to see that. Chuck needs to stay away from fighting. Chuck's healthy. Chuck's good. Chuck needs to keep doing whatever Chuck is doing. He doesn't need to fight anymore. He has nothing to prove. I don't want to see Chuck Liddell get knocked out again. His brain can't take it. I don't want to see it. And in the main event, we saw Ben Askren take on Jake Paul. And I don't know what anyone else was expecting to see, but that's exactly what I was expecting to see. Ben Askren, while one of the most successful mixed martial artists outside of the UFC, he had never lost a fight outside of the UFC till he came to the UFC. Former world champion, Olympian, wrestler, so a tremendous, tremendous athlete. But he's at the end of his career now, and his striking was always horrendous during his mixed martial arts career. So Jake Paul knocking out Ben Askren, while Ben Askren is a big name for him, isn't a big feather in his cap for striking. There's a lot of guys out there that can outstrike Ben Askren, that are low-level entry boxers. I'm not saying Jake Paul's not tough and Jake Paul doesn't work hard. I feel like Jake Paul can be an absolute superstar in the sport of boxing if he keeps training. He's young. He's 3 fights in. He looks like a fighter. He talks like a fighter. He fights. You can tell the reason he was able to knock out Ben Askren so early is because of the training and his conditioning. But Ben Askren isn't a elite level striker by any means. I would like to see Jake Paul step up against somebody that has the same level of skill as Jake Paul has right now, but is just doing boxing. Isn't a crossover star from the NBA. Isn't a crossover wrestling star from mixed martial arts. I want to see him take on a boxer. Not another YouTuber. Not another UFC guy that has no striking, not another basketball player. Let's see Ben Askren, or let's see Jake Paul actually take on a boxer next. So it will be interesting to see who Jake Paul takes next. I also saw that Evander Holyfield is fighting Kevin McBride on June 5th, I believe it was. Kevin McBride, of course, the last guy to beat Mike Tyson, so that'll be interesting. But that's my take on Askren versus Paul. That's exactly how I thought it would go. I didn't necessarily think maybe it would go so early, maybe a couple rounds in, but I expected Jake Paul to win. I expected him to win by knockout. Yeah, I enjoyed the event once the fights started, but I don't enjoy the mix of music and fighting. Maybe you could have like 2 separate events or something. I don't know. I totally get why they do it. I just don't like it. Hopefully, if they do it in the future, there's not as much music. Like, limit it. 1 or 2 people. Like, please. But I'm really loving these events that Triller puts on. It was my second one. My first one was the Tyson one. This Jake Paul, Ben Askren was my second one. If they could just get rid of the music and Oscar De La Hoya, those events would be much, much better in my opinion. What did you guys think of Askren versus Paul? Are you looking forward to see Jake Paul fight again? I think Ben Askren's done competing. He said that in his post-fight interview. But what did you guys think of the event last night? Let me know. Drop some comments below.